Have you noticed more homes for sale lately? Well, for the past several months, many people have assumed that as inventory continues to grow, home prices would naturally begin to level off and buyers would finally gain the upper hand. But when I looked at June's numbers, one thing immediately stood out to me. Here's your local real estate market update for the Des Moines, Iowa metro area, as well as our surrounding communities of West Des Moines, Clive, Waukee, Urbandale, Johnston, Ankeny, and others for June of 2026. Now, each month, I don't just want to report the market numbers for that month. I want to actually help you understand what the numbers mean and how they could affect your real estate decisions. So, let's take a look at what happened in June, and then we'll come back to why I think this month's numbers are really interesting. June finished with 4,263 active listings. Now, that's 3.2% more than we had in May and 5.2% more than we had in June of 2025. So there's no question, buyers are seeing more homes available than there were this time last year. Now, here's what caught my attention. Closed sales, or the homes that closed in June, jumped to 1,690 homes. Now, that's almost 18% more or higher than May and 19% higher than June of last year. So when I saw those numbers side by side, I thought, this tells a much bigger story than inventory alone. Because buyers didn't just have more homes to choose from, they purchased significantly more homes. Pending sales came in at 1,402 written contracts for June. Now that's down about 5% from May, but it's still 7.4% higher than June of 2025. And after a strong spring market, I don't find that particularly surprising. What I think is more important is looking at how all the numbers work together instead of focusing on just one of them. Now let's look at prices. The median sale price for the month of June reached $319,000. Now that's 4.2% higher than May and 4.6% higher than June of last year. I was reviewing this month's report. This is one of the numbers I kept coming back to. $319,000 is the highest median sale price that I've seen since I started doing these reports about 3 years ago. It's a significant median sale price for our market because it tells us that buyer demand is stronger than many people might have expected. Homes sold a little bit more quickly in June than they did in May. May had 66 days on the market. June had 58 days on the market, and June of 2025 had 54 days on the market. So while homes are still taking just a few days longer to sell this June than they did last June, buyers were making decisions more quickly than they were a month ago. When I put all four of these numbers together, that's when June really started to make sense to me. Inventory increased, but so did closed sales. Median prices continued climbing, and homes actually sold faster than they did the month before. To me, that's a good reminder that one statistic never tells the whole story. You have to look at the entire picture before drawing conclusions. So let's go back to the question we started with. If there are more homes on the market, why aren't prices coming down? Well, because real estate isn't driven by inventory alone. It's driven by the relationship between supply and demand. In June, supply increased, but also the demand remained strong enough to absorb much of that new inventory. That's why we saw homes selling, prices continuing to rise, and homes spending fewer days on the market. So while buyers have more choices today than they did a year ago, which is good news, it doesn't automatically mean that the home values are going to decline. The biggest thing that stood out to me this month was this. June reminded us that real estate is rarely as simple as one number. Because it's tempting to believe if inventory goes up, prices must come down. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. This month, we saw inventory grow while buyer demand remained strong enough to support those rising home prices and solid sales activity. Now, to me, that's not the sign of a market that's weakening anytime soon. It's a sign of a market that's finding a healthier balance. My goal each month isn't just to report the Des Moines housing market, it's to help you understand it. Because the better you understand the market, the more confident you'll be when it's time to make your next move. And remember, these are metro-wide numbers, and every neighborhood, price range, and even every street tells its own story. So if you're curious about what's happening in your specific area, or if you're wondering how these trends might affect your own plans, I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. And if these monthly updates help you better understand our local market, please subscribe to my channel. Each month, we'll look beyond the headlines and explore what the numbers can teach us about our local Des Moines housing market. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you right back here next month. It's a huge price reduction on a spectacular home in Waukee. Now, I guarantee you this home will wow you. So check out my next video. It's a home tour of one of the most stunning homes I've ever listed.